Hey lovelies, and welcome to Crystals and Coffee. Thank you for joining me. Back for another week, back in my car, obviously. Again, still stuck in here. Not as hot today though, so I've got the windows closed so we won't get any kind of wind interruption, although I have got my eye on the builder next door because I think he might be making some noises, but we'll see. We'll power through. So hope you had a nice week. I've kind of struggled a bit with what I wanted to talk about this week because I spent the last few weeks talking about bringing love to a situation, about realigning and finding our balance again and where we want to go. And I'm hoping that you found all of that helpful. I know that the exercises that I've done have been helpful for me. And so yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking this week. I've done a lot of planning. I've got a lot of things in the pipeline. So I've been very busy and thinking about what I want to share through my content. And clearly my content is focused on crystals, and it's my thing. Crystals and magic and all things witchy, herb magic, candle magic, all of these things, using the energy of the moon, of the new moon, the full moon. All of these things connecting to nature is what the kind of witchcraft part of it is all about. It's about respecting the elements, about Mother Nature, the phases that the planet goes through, and tuning into all of these massive energy shifts is what it's all about. There's nothing dark or occult about it at all, in the way that I practice it and the way that I tune into these things. And that's what I share with you guys. I share charms that I've done. I share cards that I use, crystals that I use, meditations, and observing energy shifts. So, and all of these together can make some really powerful differences. And if you want to tune into them yourself through practice, it's like working on a muscle group. You have to keep working on it and training it to get it to be where you want it to be. So it's the same thing with your intuition, and all of these practices, the more often you do them and the more comfortable you get with them, the more intuitive they will be, and you can start to use them more fluidly. So, and that is what I want to share with you guys. But then there's another side of all of this, and something that I've had to have, because it's going to be out there regardless of what industry you're in or what beliefs you have. There are going to be the naysayers. There are going to be people who are like, oh my god, that so doesn't work, or don't be ridiculous, and where's the science, and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a big science fan. I have a science, psychology is a science degree. It is based on scientific statistics and experiments and research. I am totally there for science, and I'm totally 100% there for Western medicine. I would never ever recommend somebody pass up Western medicine in favor for using a crystal. That is something I do not do. So there are an awful lot of naysayers out there that say that natural healing and energy work and things is just mumbo jumbo and it's not going to work, and that's fine. That's their belief. And there are people who, particularly in times now when we are battling this huge pandemic and this virus, any mention of an alternative therapy, you are branded with the same brush as everyone who doesn't believe in science, or being a bit airy-fairy and all of that kind of thing. And it's not that black and white, and it's not that cut and dry. It's there are, of course, there are people who do shun Western medicine. They don't believe in modern medicine. They would rather try a natural and alternative approach, sometimes against professional advice. That's their choice. Whether you agree with it or not, that's your choice. Whether you would do the same thing, again, that's your choice. But you cannot paint everyone in a generalization of everyone that believes in alternative therapies is a hippie la person, and everyone who doesn't is strictly science and facts, because people don't work like that. We are a mishmash of complicated emotions. And so I wanted to talk about this week was my take on it, and then maybe you agree with it, maybe you've got something completely different. Maybe you may disagree with me so much that you may not want to follow me anymore, and that's, again, it's completely your choice, but I can only speak for my truth, and I want to be as authentic as possible with you guys. And I, of course, use crystals in my everyday life, and I have done for many years. I have practiced crystal healing on other people for many years. I have online courses that teach people how to use crystal healing in various areas of their lives so that they can help and boost the energy in their lives. And I 100% behind that, obviously, or I wouldn't share it with you. I wouldn't practice it in my own life. I know that each of those geological stones harbor an energy vibration that I can feel, that I can tune into, and it helps with, there are many crystals that help with many different situations. However, I also know that if I am sick, I will go to speak to a medical professional. If my child is sick, they will be taken to a medical professional, and we will do what that medical professional advises. Alongside that, I will add crystals to the equation, because I know that energy shifts help on a mental and emotional level, whereas medicine will work on the physical side of things. So even when it's something as simple as, I get a lot of headaches. I always have, tried various things, and I'm just a very headachy person. And sometimes my headaches are just a case of me needing to sleep, needing to chill out and relax, turn off the screens. But sometimes they get really bad and it isn't a case of that, and I need to take painkillers. And I do. I'll take paracetamol, or I'll take ibuprofen. Sometimes I take both if it's a really bad headache. But as well as doing that, because that will obviously help the pain, but an analgesic like that isn't eradicating what's causing the pain in the first place. It's literally that. They are painkillers, not solving an issue. And I know, because I know myself quite well by now, that a lot of my headaches come from stress and from tension. So I will take said painkiller to help with the pain. But I also know that, well, I need to relieve the stress and the tension from the situation as well, or the headaches are going to keep coming back. And that's where my crystals and my meditations come in. That's where holding my amethyst on my brow chakra, or holding or on the nape of my neck, and taking those deep breaths and maybe having some meditation time, that's what's helping relieve it. But I would never consider sitting in pain because I want to use crystal energy to help me. Now, crystal energy can help you. Of course it can help you. It can help you in boundless ways, emotionally, mentally, and it can help physically as well, because again, it can help shift energies. But if you have health concerns, whether they be physical health concerns or mental health concerns, there is no substitute for professional medical advice. And I think a lot of times when, then and again, this is in general society, if people see people who practice crystal healing or Reiki healing or reflexology, aromatherapy, or there are tons of alternative therapies out there, that people are very quick to scoff at it and say, I'll stick to my doctor, thanks. And it's like, well, yeah, of course you should. Of course you should stick to your doctor. Actually, if any practitioner ever advised you not to go to the doctor over a health issue and to use an alternative medicine instead without consulting a health professional, I would be very concerned and probably wouldn't want to visit them again, and I wouldn't recommend anybody else does either, because I just don't, for me personally, I don't think that's a sensible approach. Again, like I say, I'm very much into, I know the validity of science, and it comes with everything that's going on in the world right now. Seems to be a huge uproar in the media, at least, of the necessity of wearing face masks, for example. And there are a lot of people out there who are willing to take their chances, and no matter what science says, they will find a reason not to do it because they're that bloody minded, basically. But if you do listen to the science, there is a chance that this is that they do help. Then why not take that chance? Why not give it that chance? If there's a chance that us all wearing masks can help this thing go away quicker, I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. And no other alternative way or your own thinking can undo research that's been done. And that's the same with all of alternative therapies. They are complementary therapies, and they should be used in complement to maybe other things that you need. Now, if you have a chronic condition and you know that and it's something that you know that you're under doctors and it doesn't always help, and you're seeking other forms of it, then that's great, because you are seeking other forms and it's going to help as long as it's alongside what you're already doing. Lifestyle changes, diet changes, they can all have a really positive effect on your health and mental well-being, but it doesn't hurt to check with a health professional first, particularly if you're unsure what's wrong or you have a serious condition. It isn't just a case of, oh well, I'm going to try this and hope for the best. I wouldn't advise that at all. And then again, from another point of view, not necessarily just physical, but from that mental and emotional point of view, crystals are extremely valid. Tuning in to an energy and into nature and your own cycles, your own energy movements and your own chakra systems have huge validity on how we feel and how we can sort out how we feel. However, it comes with a lot of work and a lot of effort from you. You cannot pick up a crystal, slap it on one of your chakras and hope for the best. They're not magic rocks. They're a tool to help you along your way. So they're not a quick fix. They're not going to magically make things disappear. You need to do all of that inner work with it, whether you want to do it with a therapist, or you have an alternative therapist that you go to, whether you do online courses. Like I said, I have online courses where people have taken, and they've taken that guidance and they've applied it to their own lives and they explore it their own way. All of that will come with a lot of inner work that needs to be done. There are things that I talk about all the time about reflection and getting things out and expression and communication. None of those things can be fixed with a crystal. The crystal helps you to fix them from within, and that's why crystals are very powerful in helping with motivation, unblocking energy blockages, or protecting you from other people's negative energy. All of those assistance to help you along your way, but they can't do the work for you. You need to form a relationship with your crystals and experience their energy and use it for what it's intended to be used for. But if you're not willing to put in the effort and make steps and put in the inner work, you'll just end up in a cycle of being temporarily feeling okay, but then didn't work on any of the actual root cause of issues, and they'll just keep coming back. No matter how long that cycle takes, they will keep coming back. So I just wanted to, then that's the topic I'm bringing up. I've pretty much kind of just ranted at you again and splurged out everything I've been thinking, but there's just been an awful lot of negativity I've seen on social media and articles written about, and it's just things that I've been up against ever since I started practicing in this, because there are of course people who don't believe in it at all, but then there are people that maybe go too far and disregard everything else, and that can have just as a negative effect as maybe not trying to do any of this work. Because if you are that closed off to it and you're unwilling to explore these natural energies that are all around us, then maybe again you'll stay stuck. Or if you're throwing yourself into it too far and not willing to, again, but hoping that by just picking up the crystals they're going to work like, in quotation marks, like magic, and you don't have to put any effort in, that's not going to work either. The two worlds need to combine, and that is where this holistic, where the word holistic comes in. Holistic means whole. It means as one, a whole body. So you need to bring in the two elements need to come together. The rational side of knowing that this is what needs to be done, and the spiritual side of, okay, and then this is what's going to help me. This is what I need to tune into for my highest good. You need to bring the two worlds together. And it's something that I will always very openly say to people, is that no, a crystal is not going to work like magic. You are not going to pick up a crystal and it's going to fix all your problems. It's just not. But if you're in a mindset where you want to do the work and you want to put the effort in, then of course, then it's going to help you. Of course it is. It's going to be great. And you can have a great relationship with crystals. You can have a great collection, and you'll know which ones you're tuned into for which moods you're in or what situations you're in. And you know that it's going to help you through, but you're not blind to the fact that it's going to take something from you too. It's going to take some effort and some input on your part. And you need to have a balance of them both to get the best out of them. So I am an extremely spiritual person, but not blindly spiritual. I'm very much all for using natural remedies alongside other means if necessary. I don't think anything seriously medically wrong should be ignored, and that's what doctors are there for. That's what they train for. That's what centuries of research have been there for. It's it's there to help us. So I do agree with a balance between modern therapy, modern medicine, and modern approach, but there's a great deal of validity of bringing in a natural side of it too, because spiritually, emotionally, mentally, it can help you feel an awful lot better, which again has been proven scientifically that if your mental well-being, emotional well-being is in a good place, it can help boost your physical well-being too. I can't go into complicated things about how that works. I just know from studies that I have read and articles that I've read and research that I've done that it all needs to link together. And when you're physically unbalanced, you'll be mentally and emotionally unbalanced, and vice versa. Again, we're looking at the holistic body, the whole, everything in together. So that was what I've been thinking about the last few days, and I think it's something that I'm going to make maybe a little more definite in what I share, in the sense that if you want things to change, it needs to come from you, and these things can help you, but you're not going to be able to pick them up and like magic it will be fine. Things just don't work like that. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with me. You may very well not agree with me, because you have your own belief system, you have your own values. We all do. But I would hope that you would have the same view towards me, of that I have my own values and my own belief systems, and that's what I wanted to chat to you about today. And I would love to hear what your experiences are. Are there people that kind of shun away from your spiritual beliefs? Is it something that you struggle with, or have you successfully gone against medicine and used your own ways and had a great story to tell about it? I still want to hear from I'm not closing my mind off to other people's experiences, and I would love to hear your experiences. I think it's a great conversation for people to have, and a discussion now more than ever. It needs to happen when there are so much conflict at the moment about the virus and how it's affecting people and how different people feel that it should be tackled. And yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up, and that's what I wanted to talk about. And I guess I got on my soapbox a little bit again. So yeah, I hope you found it interesting, and maybe it's given you something to think about. Maybe it'll start conversations, or maybe you start thinking about things in another way. I don't know, but I would love to hear from you as always. And I'll be sharing some more new things that are going to be coming out from my content. As always, there is my Crystals and Coffee membership, which there are links in the description for. The workbook that I spoke about last week is still up in my Etsy store. You don't have to re-listen to the podcast to use it. It's a workbook that can be visited at any time you feel like you need to get some balance and some grounding. It's a step by step process for you to be able to follow, to just bring yourself back into alignment and bring some balance back into your life. So the link is still in the description below for that, or go to my Etsy store or katiebat.com, go to the shop and it's in there. And yeah, I will be back next week, and I hope you'll be joining me, and I'll have some more crystal chat for you. And in the meantime, take care, have a great week, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.